My name is Peluffo. I am a comic living in Brooklyn, New York. I've been in Brooklyn for about 11 years and I've been a comic for 6. I flew to New York, not to do comedy, but to go to art school, which was a huge mistake. But it got me to New York. I am 200 grand in debt, so it doesn't matter. Who's counting? The government. All right. I feel great about it. Anyway, I love living in New York. I think it's the best place to do comedy. Brooklyn's great because you get the best of all the worlds. You can go into Manhattan and do the clubs, and then you can go into Brooklyn and do all the weird shit. Not saying that everything in Brooklyn is weird, but a lot of it is, and we love it for it. What got me into comedy? I woke up one morning and thought, I think I can do that. And I tried it 2 years later, and then it's been an obsession ever since. I had a dream about Ellen DeGeneres. It's not a sex dream, but it was just a weird dream where I was Ellen DeGeneres. And then I just thought about comedy for 2 years, didn't have the guts to do an open mic, and then finally did. And it was like, I don't know, finding your whole personality. Comedy isn't my whole personality. This is going great. And just to be clear, I'm looking right in the center or over here?
The center.
The center. Thank you. I've been looking around. Oh, whose dog is that? All right. So I started out doing open mics just like every sad comedian, and they are great, but they are also miserable. I found all my best friends at open mics, so I'm so grateful for that. But then I also found a lot of insecurities at my open mics. But yeah, I love open mics. They serve a purpose. You go there, you work out your material to a bunch of people looking at their phones. And then you discover, yeah, I really do want to be a comedian because I'm willing to endure this torture. But yeah, the switch from open mic to performing in shows is very gradual, I would say. I made the switch from doing open mics to getting into a lot of festivals while still doing open mics, and then starting to work the clubs because of these festivals and because of getting Colbert. And I do less and less open mics, but I feel like every comic is always going to do them just because it's stage time and a great way to work out new material without the judgment of paying customers. So, yeah, a good open mic, there's nothing better. All right, Pine Box Rock Shop. I mean, you get 2.5 minutes. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's the most nervous you'll ever be for 2.5 minutes. But it's such a fun mic, and it's just a room full of 50 comedians. This is pre-COVID, and it's just a ruckus good time. And some of the most creative people you'll ever meet in the comedy world go through there. It's very fun. So, COVID, you know, what a joy. It's been fine. I remember COVID started and I was actually in Seattle when it was going around Seattle. And I was headlining one of my first clubs. It was very exciting stuff. Laughs in Seattle. Lovely club. And it was going around. We didn't think it was a big deal. Like, oh, people are getting sick? That's so weird. And then I flew home to New York, not knowing what it was. And then everything exploded. I remember my last gig was in Erie, Pennsylvania at a comedy and magic club. Yes, I am bragging. And I brought my little sister with me, and the shows were very small because everybody was terrified of getting this insane disease. And it was just really scary and weird, but we definitely thought it was going to last like a month. I was like, ooh, time to write that pilot. Here we go. And then 2 months rolled around, and 3, and gigs that I had planned for July got canceled. And it was like, uh-oh, maybe I should have gone into real estate. But one thing about New York, the New York comedy scene, is that they are very, very resourceful. So comedy shows started popping up in parks, on rooftops. Clubs started doing them in parks and rooftops, and just tents outside. Everybody was just like, we need to perform, let's figure out a way to make this happen. And at some points I was doing like 4 or 5 shows a night, just hopping around from park to rooftop to someone's backyard. It's all very strange, but you're like, why not? I have literally nothing else. And I think this has really, with the comedy community, I guess, has really, the people who are gung-ho about it are really, it's like, for me, it just solidified it. I'm not going anywhere. This is what I love, and I'm gonna, if it means I have to stand in a park in front of 2 people and shout at them with no microphone, I'm gonna do it. Wearing shorts, no less. What a nightmare. Oh, boy. Anyway, but yeah, so I think that's really bonded all the comedians. We're all like, hey, we have no money. I am terrified I won't be able to eat, but you know what? Let's go make some strangers laugh in a dark alley somewhere, as long as it's outside. Wear your mask. I think there's going to be a lot more Zoom shows. I think those are hanging out for a while. It's just a great way to connect with people all over the country. I think clubs are going to start live streaming shows more and more. And I think outdoor shows in the summertime are very, very fun. In the winter, turns out not so much. Those can go back inside. But the outdoor comedy shows, I think those are here to stay. I think Zoom shows are here to stay. And I think being able to create more things online, I think that's going to become just a part of being a comedian. Unfortunately, it's not my strong suit. I'm in trouble, but you should see me in a park. Anyway, you are right now. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's going to be kind of the future of comedy. A lot of Zoom, a lot of internet, a lot of, and hopefully some more outdoors. Those were really, really, really fun. Nothing like getting drunk in a park on a Tuesday. I do that anyway. Okay. Then, wrap it up in a bow, Caitlin. Come on, be a professional. What do I think? I think, I don't know. It just, like I said before, this whole pandemic has really solidified with a lot of people that you're in it or you're not. A lot of people moved out of the city, and there's no shame in that. It's just, I rediscovered how much I love New York, and I rediscovered how much I really care about comedy and being a good comic. So I think that's, to sum up, what this pandemic, I mean, sure, I have no money, and I just got Medicaid, first time, 4 years, thank you. But yeah, I have no money, I have no job, but I'm gonna be in a park for a long time, as long as people will let me, I guess. Is that sad? I think that's a little sad, but I got my tetanus shot. One thing that we found out during this pandemic is that comedians are ready and willing to take care of each other. There were so many GoFundMes, so many Kickstarters started up for the staff of comedy clubs, for comedians in general, so many scholarships for comedians, just to be like, hey, we understand, we're very much gig oriented in terms of pay. So there was just so many comics taking care of comics, with Comedy Gives Back, with Steve Hofstadter's grant money, with just GoFundMes in general. People were really trying to take care of each other in the comedy community, and that I think speaks volumes of the people, and also of how important comedy and comedians are to our communities.